Lake Toplitz is a small, deep, and mysterious lake hidden in the Austrian Alps. Surrounded by thick forests and steep mountains, the lake looks peaceful on the surface, but it has a dark and fascinating history connected to the final days of World War II. Over the years, stories have spread that the Nazis threw boxes of gold, secret documents, and other treasure into the lake to hide them from the Allied forces. Many people have been drawn to the lake with the hope of discovering this lost treasure. Some divers even died while searching, and governments have banned certain types of exploration because of the dangers. The truth behind the Nazi treasure of Lake Toplitz is a mix of reality, mystery, and legend, making it one of the most famous treasure stories in modern history. To understand the story fully, it is important to know what was happening in Europe during the last years of the Second World War. By 1943 and 1944, Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime were beginning to lose the war. Their soldiers were tired, supplies were running low, and the Allied forces, including the United States, Britain, and the Soviet Union, were pushing them back on all fronts. As defeat became more likely, the Nazis started to hide valuable items, important documents, and evidence of their crimes. They feared that when the Allies entered Germany and Austria, they would discover everything. Many secret operations were carried out in mountain areas, mines, lakes, and underground tunnels. Lake Toplitz became one of these hiding places. Lake Toplitz was an ideal location for secret activities. It is extremely deep, more than 100 meters, and because of the special structure of the water, almost half of the lake contains no oxygen. In the deeper parts, nothing can live, not even fish. The water is cold, dark, and still. Another unusual feature of the lake is a thick layer of floating logs deep beneath the surface. For many years, trees from the surrounding mountains have fallen into the water and sunk until they reach this depth. Because the lower part of the lake has no oxygen, the logs never rot. They form a dangerous underwater forest that can easily trap or kill divers. This made the lake a perfect natural hiding place for anything the Nazis wanted to keep secret. During the war, the German Navy used the area around Lake Toplitz for experiments and tests. They worked on new weapons, explosives, and torpedoes. They also used nearby buildings as research centers. So the presence of German soldiers and scientists around the lake did not seem suspicious at the time. But as the war neared its end, the Nazis began sending trucks and soldiers into the forest at night. Local villagers noticed the movement but did not understand what was going on. The soldiers brought heavy wooden boxes and dumped them from boats into the deep parts of the lake. Some villagers also reported hearing explosions, possibly to make the boxes sink faster or to destroy dangerous equipment. These strange events created the first rumors of hidden treasure. After the war ended in 1945, Austria became a place of great interest for Allied investigators. Many Nazi officials fled, many were captured, and many died. But their secrets remained. When the Allied forces learned about the nighttime activities at Lake Toplitz, they suspected the Nazis had used the lake to hide important items. However, the lake was extremely dangerous to explore, so no major search was done immediately. For several years, the mystery remained untouched, and the lake quietly hid whatever secrets were lying at its bottom. The story began to gain attention again in the 1950s. Rumors about Nazi gold became very popular in newspapers and magazines. Many stories describe treasure-filled boxes containing gold bars, diamonds, or even personal belongings stolen from victims of the Holocaust. Some claimed the Nazis had planned to use the treasure to fund a future rebellion. Others believed the treasure was simply the last attempt to hide stolen wealth from the enemy. These stories were exciting but lacked evidence. Still, they attracted adventurers, journalists, and treasure hunters from around the world. One of the most famous search missions happened in 1959, when the German magazine Stern organized a professional diving team to explore the lake. This expedition became world famous because it was the first major, well-funded attempt to look for the Nazi treasure. The divers faced extremely dangerous conditions. The deep water was icy cold, visibility was near zero, and the underwater logs created deadly obstacles. Many divers feared they could get trapped beneath the log layer and never return. Despite these challenges, the team successfully reached the bottom in some areas and discovered several wooden crates buried under mud. These crates did not contain gold or jewels, but they revealed a shocking truth. Inside, the divers found large bundles of fake British banknotes. perfectly printed counterfeit money produced by the Nazis. Along with the money, they discovered printing plates, paper sheets, and documents describing a secret Nazi operation known as Operation Bernhard. This operation was one of the largest counterfeit schemes in world history. The goal was to create high-quality fake British pounds and then flood the British economy with this fake currency, hoping to weaken Britain financially. The Nazis planned to use the counterfeit money to pay spies, buy materials for the war, and also to destabilize the enemy's economy. The forged notes were so perfect that even British banks had difficulty recognizing them as fake. The discovery of these items proved that the Nazi activity at Lake Toplitz was real, not just legend. After the 1959 expedition, more teams continued to search the lake. Some found additional crates containing more counterfeit money, explosives, and documents. Others claimed to see large metal objects buried under mud or trapped beneath logs. But despite many attempts, no gold bars, diamonds, or valuable treasure was ever confirmed. Still, rumors continued to grow. Some people believed the treasure must be buried deeper in the lake, beyond the reach of divers. Others thought the treasure might have been removed by someone after the war. A small number of conspiracy theories even suggested that secret organizations recovered the gold long before the official searches began. None of these claims were ever proven. The Austrian government eventually stepped in because of safety concerns. Too many divers were risking their lives, and some had already died while exploring the dangerous underwater log layer. The government placed restrictions on diving in Lake Toplitz, and only approved scientific or controlled missions were allowed. The lake became famous not only for its mystery, but also for its deadly reputation. Many experts warned that even modern diving technology was not fully safe in such extreme conditions. In the decades that followed, more scientific expeditions explored the lake using sonar equipment, underwater robots, and remote cameras. These modern tools made it possible to see parts of the lake that were too dangerous for human divers. The robots found additional objects related to wartime experiments, mainly weapons, torpedo parts, and metal tools. The results confirmed that the Nazis had used the lake for testing and disposal, but still provided no evidence of gold or valuable treasure. However, they did discover many layers of logs and mud that made deeper exploration extremely difficult. Even with advanced technology, searching the entire lake bottom thoroughly would require enormous time and money. So is the Nazi treasure of Lake Toplitz real? The answer depends on what we mean by treasure. If we refer to valuable gold, gemstones, or stolen Jewish wealth dumped into the lake, there is no confirmed evidence. Many historians believe this part of the story is exaggerated or completely fictional, created by treasure hunters and sensational newspapers. However, if we consider the forged money, printing equipment, and secret documents found in the lake, then the treasure is absolutely real. These items represent an important part of Nazi history and reveal how far the regime was willing to go to defeat its enemies. The discoveries proved the existence of Operation Bernhard and showed how the Nazis tried to use economic warfare through counterfeit currency. The lake's mystery continues even today. People still wonder whether more treasure might be hidden deeper below the logs and mud. Some believe that the Nazis might have dumped gold in nearby lakes instead. A few historians argue that the Nazis would not have hidden precious gold in such an unstable and risky environment. It would have been more likely stored in mines or underground bunkers. Others claim that if gold was ever thrown into Lake Toplitz, someone may have secretly recovered it in the early years after the war. Because no official record exists, these theories are impossible to confirm. What makes the story so fascinating is the combination of fact and mystery. The real discoveries, counterfeit money and Nazi documents, show that something important happened there. The dangerous nature of the lake adds to the drama. And the possibility, even if small, that more treasure could be hidden in the depths keeps the legend alive. Treasure hunters still visit the area, hoping for a chance to explore the lake legally. Tourists come to see the beautiful surroundings and hear local stories. Historians continue to debate what might still lie beneath the dark water. In simple terms, the story of the Nazi treasure of Lake Toplitz is not just about gold. It is about secrets, fear, and the final desperate actions of a collapsing regime. It is about a hidden lake used for war experiments and a large-scale counterfeit operation that remained unknown for many years. It is also a lesson about how legends grow, how true events mix with imagination to create stories that last for generations. Even today, the lake's depths remain mostly unexplored. Modern technology has made things easier, but not enough to fully uncover what lies beneath the thick layer of logs. As long as the bottom of the lake remains out of reach, the mystery will continue. People will keep wondering, searching, and telling the story. Whether or not gold ever existed there, Lake Toplitz will always be remembered as one of the most intriguing and mysterious places connected to World War II.